Only when the tide goes out do you discover who's been swimming naked. Someone is sitting in the shade today because someone planted a tree a long time ago. It takes 20 years to build a reputation and 5 minutes to ruin it. If you think about that, you'll do things differently. Risk comes from not knowing what you're doing. Chains of habit are too light to be felt until they are too heavy to be broken. Price is what you pay. Value is what you get. Predicting rain doesn't count. Building arcs does. Rule number 1, never lose money. Rule number 2, never forget rule number 1. It's far better to buy a wonderful company at a fair price than a fair company at a wonderful price. We simply attempt to be fearful when others are greedy, and to be greedy only when others are fearful. When a management with a reputation for brilliance tackles a business with a reputation for bad economics, it is the reputation of the business that remains intact. Wall Street is the only place that people ride to in a Rolls-Royce to get advice from those who take the subway. Should you find yourself in a chronically leaking boat, energy devoted to changing vessels is likely to be more productive than energy devoted to patching leaks. I don't look to jump over 7-foot bars, I look around for 1-foot bars that I can step over. The only way to get love is to be lovable. It's very irritating if you have a lot of money. You'd like to think you could write a check, "I'll buy $1 million worth of love." But it doesn't work that way. The more you give love away, the more you get. You only have to do a very few things right in your life, so long as you don't do too many things wrong. It's better to hang out with people better than you. Pick out associates whose behavior is better than yours and you'll drift in that direction. In the business world, the rearview mirror is always clearer than the windshield. Only buy something that you'd be perfectly happy to hold if the market shut down for 10 years. Time is the friend of the wonderful company, the enemy of the mediocre. I buy expensive suits. They just look cheap on me. I always knew I was going to be rich. I don't think I ever doubted it for a minute. Basically, when you get to my age, you'll really measure your success in life by how many of the people you want to have love you actually do love you. The investor of today does not profit from yesterday's growth. When you combine ignorance and leverage, you get some pretty interesting results. Our favorite holding period is forever. Look at market fluctuations as your friend rather than your enemy. Profit from folly rather than participate in it. It's never paid to bet against America. We come through things, but it's not always a smooth ride. I never attempt to make money on the stock market. I buy on the assumption that they could close the market the next day and not reopen it for 5 years. We enjoy the process far more than the proceeds. The best thing I did was to choose the right heroes. The rich are always going to say that, just give us more money, and we'll go out and spend more, and then it will all trickle down to the rest of you. But that has not worked the last 10 years, and I hope the American public is catching on. Beware of geeks bearing formulas. The first rule is not to lose. The second rule is not to forget the first rule. Value is what you get. If past history was all there was to the game, the richest people would be librarians. Of the billionaires I have known, money just brings out the basic traits in them. If they were jerks before they had money, they are simply jerks with $1 billion. The smarter the journalists are, the better off society is. For to a degree, people read the press to inform themselves. And the better the teacher, the better the student body. Today people who hold cash equivalents feel comfortable. They shouldn't. They have opted for a terrible long-term asset, one that pays virtually nothing and is certain to depreciate in value. If a business does well, the stock eventually follows. Economic medicine that was previously meted out by the cupful has recently been dispensed by the barrel. These once unthinkable dosages will almost certainly bring on unwelcome after effects. Their precise nature is anyone's guess, though one likely consequence is an onslaught of inflation. A public opinion poll is no substitute for thought. If you get to my age in life and nobody thinks well of you, I don't care how big your bank account is, your life is a disaster. Your premium brand had better be delivering something special, or it's not going to get the business. You do things when the opportunities come along. I've had periods in my life when I've had a bundle of ideas come along, and I've had long dry spells. If I get an idea next week, I'll do something. If not, I won't do a damn thing.